You are delicious. Do you know that? You are, but sometimes you don't feel like it. You might get so stuck in the day to day and in negative thoughts about yourself that you don't remember how radiant you really are. We do this all the time, but today I encourage you to take some time to immerse yourself in how glam you can be. In February, I hosted an amazing makeup artist to help us remember just how much fun makeup can be. And she was part of an all day event of 12 self care experts who joined me to teach you the latest styling tips, makeup tips, sensuality tips, healthy cooking tips to make sure you feel delicious every day. This event was called Make Yourself Delicious. I'm sharing a clip from the makeup artist, Donna Delia, and I thought it would inspire you. So I hope this helps you remember how important it is to take the time to take care of yourself. And if you want the whole session with Donna, I'll send it to you along with her free gift as well. There's also an opportunity for you to get the entire Make Yourself Delicious event. So enjoy this, and below this video, you will see how you can get more. Bye for now. I know there are a lot of women on here that don't regularly put on makeup. And so I know you're going to walk us through some makeup application, but can you just speak into a little bit about, women who are maybe over 40, right? A little bit older skin, like I'm 40, turning 47 in 2 weeks. I have a little wrinkles everywhere. I notice, stuff is creasing. So speak into that a little bit, but also more about women who are not used to wearing makeup and how to get started if they want to with a little bit more mature skin.
So I think the key is in general with makeup is in skincare first. And I know it's like, oh, well, you're a makeup artist. Why are we talking about skincare? But skincare is really what is going to make your makeup sit well. So you were talking about how you're getting lines and you don't want makeup to settle. It won't settle if you're using proper skincare and you're using the right amount of product. I think that if I like to use makeup for fun more so than like, oh, hey, let's use makeup to cover stuff up. I'm not really on that. Like, yes, of course, people might want to use it if they have a pimple or a blemish or things like that. But I don't think of makeup as a way to hide. I think of makeup as a way to express and enhance. So I definitely do wear a lot of color personally because I normally wear a lot of black, but I knew I was doing a neutral look today. So that's why I wore a colorful shirt. So I'll use makeup to help enhance my mood. So for example, if I'm speaking and I'm not going to be doing makeup, I usually will have a red lipstick on because people are more likely to read your lips and listen to what you're saying if you have red lipstick on, because our eyes always go to red no matter what. So if you're looking at an image and there's a bunch of colors, your eyes by default just go to red. So I think red is a good color to start with for the lips because you don't really need to do anything else and you can just go. And if you're just getting started and you're like, well, I want to wear makeup, but you're a little insecure on how to use it, this look that we're going to do today is going to be perfect because it is one of the easiest we can do. I have it on now. That's why I'm lopsided. I didn't forget to do this other eye. We're just going to do this other eye together. So this is the look we're going to do. It's really soft, really glowy. It's designed to open the eyes. And it's perfect no matter what age you are, but especially if you're more of a mature woman and you want to be sophisticated and posh. When I was thinking of the looks I could do, I was like, well, I want to do something that'll work for all eye shapes because I think people get hung up like, oh, can I do something if it doesn't work for my eye shape?
Right.
So I wanted to do something that can work for everyone, something that'll open up and lift the eye because as we get older, our eyes tend to become a little bit more hooded. So the technique we're going to do today is called gradient. And you can see in the outer corner, it lifts it up. So no matter what, it's going to pull the eye forward. And I'm going to talk about blending, which is going to be really helpful.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I also can talk a lot. So,
well, why don't we just get started? Does everybody have their makeup ready? If you want to go run and get your makeup and some brushes, go do that now. I'm going to, just for the sake of being able to see you, I'm going to unpin myself.
Okay.
So that just you, and you're going to be big. Wonderful. So I'm going to unpin and, my team did it. Yay. Thanks, team. And you can just get started. Go for it.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Barbara. Thanks for that introduction. I'm going to run over quickly what I'm going to be using. So as you're grabbing products, you have time. And the way that I teach it is going to be a step-by-step. So I'm going to do a step, wait a moment for you to do a step. Then I'm going to do the step and we're going to go back and forth until the look is complete. Even if you're not doing makeup with me today, but you have a question, the chat is there. I can see the chat. I have it open. I love to engage. My whole purpose is to really empower women to do makeup on themselves and feel confident in it. And I have my partner in here too. His name is Greg, and it'll say Greg Beauty University. So if I miss a question, he'll write what product I'm using and things like that. So we are all together. The palette that I'm going to be using is this one from ColourPop. It is called Stone Cold Fox, and it is probably the best neutral palette out there. This palette's only like $34. But let me tell you, don't buy it full price because ColourPop has a sale every other week and it'll go down to like 20, 30% off. And then it'll be like $17 for this palette. And it's so good because it is all neutral tones. There's a mix of textures. And we're going to talk about texture as I'm applying on my eyes. So we're going to use 3 colors. Now, even if you don't have this palette, use whatever palette you have. But I want you to look at 3 colors. You need a light, a medium, and a dark. So I'm going to use this color right here, which is called I Dig It. This is going to be my light color. My medium color is going to be this one right here. It is called Baby Doll. And then my third color is this color right here called For Granite. And like I said, Greg is going to put the names in there too. But when I say 3 colors, I want you to go from light to dark. And we're going to lay them basically right next to each other. So if you have me on speaker view too, I'm going to get all up in this mirror, in this camera. So you're going to see everything. We're going to use 2 brushes for application and then 1 brush for a liner. So if you have a black eyeliner pencil or brown pencil, keep it close by because we're going to add that at the end. But these are the 2 brushes that you're going to use. You need a flat brush that's very firm and then something fluffy that we're going to use also to place our color, but it's a little fluffier because we want the color to be diffused. And I'll talk more about this as we get into each placement. If you've never tried makeup before, I definitely encourage you to join me and just try it out anyways, because I promise this is going to be easier than you think. So the first thing you'll always do is have an eyeshadow primer. And so I put on my concealer as my eyeshadow primer. You can use your concealer. You can use an eyeshadow primer. If you're older and you're worried about fine lines or things looking cakey underneath your eye, I definitely recommend a concealer as opposed to a primer because primers are drying and they can make your eyes look older because they're dried out. They enhance things. In fact, if you want to take a step further, this is about concealer, mix your eye cream into your concealer and then apply. Most of the time when our under eyes look cakey or dry, it's because there's not enough hydration. And most concealers that exist these days are always full coverage, and that's just too thick. So I want you to mix your eye cream into your concealer, put it on underneath your eye, and that'll help any creasing situation. Okay, so I also keep a tissue close by. I'm going to use the tissue to dab my colors on so I don't get fallout under my face. So the first thing we're going to do is pick up our light color. Any light color will be good. If you like shimmer, this is the color that I think should have shimmer. And I know that people might say if you're older, you shouldn't wear shimmer. I think that is absolute blasphemy. I don't agree with this. It's a stupid rule. I don't know who told people that they can't glow, but you can glow, my friend. It's all about purposeful placement. That's what you have to think of when it comes to shimmer. You're not going to put it directly like, you know, you can see as I get closer, like I have some lines right here. I'm not going to put shimmer there, but right here on my inner eyelid, there's no wrinkles. Most people, no matter how old you get, this is going to be smoother and this is going to be smoother. So your shimmers, put them on the lid. That's going to help open up your eye. And if it has a little bit of sheen to it, it also helps you look younger. So don't be afraid of shimmers, my friends. Now, when we're putting this color on, I'm using the flat brush and I'm pressing it in the inner corner and I'm focusing on 1/3 of the eye. And we're going to just press it because pressing gives it a place to sit. And I'm going to bring it up to my crease. Doesn't matter what your eye shape is, you're still going to follow right up into the crease. And your crease is this hollow part of the eye. So if I was to take my brush and press, that's where my crease is. It's right below your brow bone. Everybody has a crease. I know there's this rumor that if you have hooded eyes, you don't have a crease, or if you have a monolid, you don't have a crease. You have one, it's just not as easily visible, but it's right there. So first color, right there. And when you're doing your eyes at the same time, I would recommend doing one step on each eye and then go to the second step before. So like don't do one whole eye, then do the other eye because you might forget. It's easier to do step by step because that's also going to help you get your symmetry. So now we're going to go on to our second color using the same brush. So I just went like this with my tissue to get rid of some of the excess color. And I'm grabbing Baby Doll. This is only a tiny bit darker than my first color. And I'm going to press it right here in the center. I'm not going to bring it all the way to the outer corner. Think of us like we're cutting our eye into threes. So the light color, 1/3, middle color will be 1/3, and the third color will be 1/3. So this middle color, the key here though, is to go a little bit higher than where we placed our first color. So I brought my first color pretty much right up to the crease. I'm going to relax my eye, keep it open, and I'm going to bring this up just a little bit higher. Still pressing. And the reason I'm bringing it higher is because it creates movement and shape. You don't, when we're this technique called gradient, reason I like this for all eye shapes is because you don't have to worry about filling in the crease and really blending too much. So it's really forgiven and good to practice. And you can use this with any colors. If you wanted to do a rose gold, a medium brown, and a plum, you can use that. You can use yellow, blue, and green, you know, whatever colors you like, this works. I really teach technique over trends. So the techniques are always there and colors are subjective. You use what you like. And if you prefer matte, you can totally just use all matte shades for this too. So as I apply this color, I'm then going to slightly just use the edge of my brush with very little pressure and push it on over into the light color. You don't really want to see where one color starts or one color ends. And if you have questions while I'm going, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm here to help. Now I'm going to grab my fluffy blending brush. Now there's a lot of fluffy brushes that exist. This is a very common blending brush that we'll always see around. And people will be like, blend, blend, blend. I like this brush if you have very big eyes or if you're going for a really bold makeup. But if you've got smaller eyes, hooded eyes, deep set eyes, monolids, you're going to have smaller lid space. And so you're going to need a smaller blending brush. So I like this brush that's a little bit smaller. And because this brush is also firm, you see there's not a lot of movement, it's going to allow me to place product and also blend it. Whereas this brush, very fluffy. So you're not going to get a lot of placement with your product. I want you to remember this. The denser the brush, the more product it's going to pick up and the more product it's going to deposit. The fluffier the brush, the more diffused look you're going to get, and it's going to pick up less product. So if you want a wash of a look, fluffier brushes. You want a more firm look or a more saturated look rather, more dense brushes. So I'm going with this. This is the Crown SS012. I love this blending brush. And I'm going to pick up my darkest color. Now, if you're working with different textures, I would recommend that you keep your darkest color to be matte, because matte is going to help bring stuff back. It's going to contour the eye. So it's also going to help with more of the definition. And then definitely when you're working with darker colors, tap the excess onto a tissue so you don't get all of that fallout on your face. And then from there, I'm going to tilt my head back and look down. Because when you look down, it allows a smooth surface and you're not pulling the eye. I know a lot of time we try to go like this or we're going like this. Over time, that can stretch the elasticity in the eye, which can decrease the elasticity, which can lead to premature aging. Now, obviously, if you do it a couple of times, it's not going to make a big difference. But if you do it all the time, over time, it will. That's why whenever I see someone wear eyeliner and they're stretching their eye, I'm like, stop, don't do it. All righty, so I got my dark color, pressing on right here. I'm going to tilt my head back and raise my eyebrows, and I'm going to first press the color onto the outer corner, not overlapping yet. And then this color, I want it to be higher than all the other colors. So I'm going to bring this up to my crease and go slightly past it onto the brow bone. So it's going to look more like a line in the beginning, and then we can stretch it on over. It's good to get your placement down. And then you can take a clean brush with no product on it and blend it out, which I'm going to show you in a moment. I like to use one brush for placement and then another for blending. So I just applied this brush on, or I just applied this product on. Now I'm going to take my clean brush. This is just a fluffier, bigger brush, and Greg wrote the name of it down in the chat. And I'm going to drag this over in a one-directional blend. It's